What's up, guys? Cliff from the Sunday Drive and TSD Motorsports. Today we're here with Brandon from Valvetronic, where we're going on his 2025 G80, and today we're doing a little upgrade on it.
Yes.
Whoa, yeah. So, is that what we're selling today?
I don't know. I thought I was keeping my factory warranty.
All right, well, we'll save that for later. Today we're going to be showing you how to install some H&R lowering springs on this G80 step by step, so stay tuned. So welcome back to the channel, guys. This is part 2 of a 2-part TSD series, but a multi-part Valvetronic series where we're modifying this G80. In the first part, we did a full Suku carbon kit, which you can see the grille and front lip behind us, as well as diffuser and side skirts. But Brandon, tell us a little bit about what you're going to be doing in this car and kind of what the series is on your channel.
Yeah, so this is my 2025 M3 competition. It's one of my dream cars. As you can see, we already have the carbon kit on, which looks fantastic. Thank you guys very much for that. It's also PPF, so it's actually not frozen white. It's Alpine white, but it has Steck frozen PPF on it to make it have that look, but also protecting the paint and saving like $4,000 from the individual paint from BMW.
None of the headaches that come with the individual paint.
Exactly, because it's impossible to paint match it.
Yes.
Obviously, the Valvetronic exhaust on here, hence being a Valvetronic employee. So it sounds fantastic with the stock cats. Everything about this build is going to be making it look good, making it sound good, but keeping the factory warranty, because I do care about that 50,000 mile, 4-year warranty for this car. It's the best thing about purchasing a new car is having the dealership take care of it for you, which I take a lot of care in. So we have that. We have some other goodies that are going to be done to this, like Downstar, all the cool bits that they have
really nice
inside.
touch, yeah.
Golden Wrench with all their other cool bits that they do on the engine bay and the gas cap. Obviously, we have a skid plate to prevent the oil the oil pan from cracking. And then, other than that, it's all aesthetic stuff. I have a wrap, a livery that's in the works right now. It's a Marlboro-style Valvetronic livery, which will look really, really cool on this. And now it's time to make it sit pretty, because from factory, it's pretty lackluster in terms of both the fitment of the wheels with the spacers, which we have spacers on, and the monster fitment that it comes with from BMW.
Absolutely, this is definitely going to fix that. So we went with the H&R brand. There are many different spring options. This is a good quality kit, well-known name brand for many, many years. And as you said, you've had these on other BMWs.
Yeah, my E30 has H&Rs, my F30 had H&Rs, and my GTI had H&Rs. So this is my 4th vehicle with H&R springs on it.
Yep, so you're very familiar with the platform. And if you guys do need any parts, we are H&R dealers, as well as dealers for all of the other parts that Brandon mentioned, as well as Valvetronic, of course. So we love to install their products, and we'll be happy to help you. So today we're going to do a step-by-step install guide on this. And again, if you need any parts or installation or near South Jersey, we'd be happy to help you out. So Brandon, we're going to get this upgraded for you and show you how it's all done.
It's got her sitting pretty.
All right. Now that we got the wheels off, we put the car up in the air and have our jack underneath the rear spring right here. And we're going to be pulling out this back bolt. But on the driver's side, before you do that, you do have a level sensor right here. So very important to make sure that you remove that. It's a 10 millimeter. If you do not do that, you are going to break. There we go. Push that up out of the way. And don't forget to reconnect it. All right, now we need to remove this back bolt right here. Now, I don't need earmuffs for this part, but I'm going to use an impact in a second, and I will. All right, we're going to break this free. That is, I'm going to actually get Leo on there, because that's, wow, that's a lot of force on that. So Leo, let's pull it back towards you. Old spring out. Now you're going to want this little nub right here. This only goes on one way. And you're going to want that nub to be coming out that hole right there. Just like it is over on that side. Ready? Yep. Now we're putting the suspension here under load so that we are torquing it down in rear wheel conditions. Otherwise, if you tighten it down and then the load is put onto the car, you're actually going to twist and potentially tear the bushings and O-rings and stuff inside of these bushings right here. So you don't want to do that. So we're going to raise this up until we're under load, and now we can go ahead and tighten that down. And we'll have the torque specs for all of these down in the description. And when torquing, you want to ease into it. You don't want to get to that number too fast and jerk it and have an inaccurate reading. And this is probably the most common mistake after breaking these, because you forgot to remove it, is forgetting to reinstall your level sensor. So go ahead and stick that through. And we got our nut right there. And again, this is 10 mil. And I prefer to do this by hand. It is very small and very easy to over tighten it and break it off. You don't want to do that. Just gonna snug that up. Okay. All right, we already did the other side earlier, so now we're gonna move up and show you how to do the fronts. Now, because this is an X-Drive vehicle, we do have to loosen the axle by removing the axle bolt right here. Now, if you don't have a strong enough impact to get this off, a trick is popping off the center cap on your wheel, lowering the car down before you remove the wheel, obviously, and then putting a really big breaker on here because this is torqued down very tightly. We will have the torque spec for this down in the description when we go to reinstall it, but we have a big impact, so we're gonna have no problem getting this off of here. Light work. Now we still have the wheel well liner out here from doing the carbon install, so normally there's a wheel well liner in here, but we need to go ahead and loosen up all of these wire connections. So I'm gonna go ahead and disconnect the EDC right here. So I already loosened it, but got the pick tool behind it, pull that down, and then it is clipped in behind the strut right here. So I'm going to push that out of the connection. We have our brake wear sensor that's coming down right here. So again, we're just gonna pull that out of all the clips here, like so. And then we have this connection right here, which I believe is our ABS. So wiggle that guy out. And then we're also going to loosen the brake line. So just removing it off of this clip right here. This can be a little bit of a pain, so just grab a 90-degree pick tool, go on the inside of that, pull it out, and get it up and over that clip there. There we go. All right, we got all our wires loose. Now we need to go ahead and disconnect the sway bar end link from the strut. Leo's gonna go ahead and remove the sway bar end link, 16 millimeter, and as long as you have enough speed, you can get it off quickly. If it starts to spin, you can counter hold it in the center. Go ahead and remove this access cover right here. We're gonna do this flip to the left, 90 degrees, unlock that. That comes up and out. Now we have a few push pins that we need to release from here. So again, using a tool like this, release the center part, pull it up, and pull the clip out. Sometimes the middle part will completely come out. That's all right. Just grab the bottom and pull that out separately if that happens. There you go. All right. And it's still connected over here, but I'm just going to push it out of the way. And we need to disconnect our EDC connection, or electronic dampening control. Pull up on that right there, and just pull out. The connection is on the inside, just takes a little bit of force. And then for pushing that back in, you're gonna wanna push this back along the line here so that you get access to it. There we go. So we got that through now, so when we need to reconnect it, I can push it on. Leo's positioning the jack right underneath the control arm, and we're gonna go up and just take some tension off of this spring. Now we need to take an 18 millimeter pass through with a 10 millimeter center hold. If you need a kit like this, we will have it linked down in the description. This is the center hole that we get. It's an extended 10 millimeter that will sit down inside of this like so. And again, we'll have links to these tools down in the description of the video. Now, because this has electronic dampening, there is an electronic sensor inside the connection right there. So you can't put a traditional counter hold, and that's why you need this outside 10 millimeter extended socket. All right, now we want to hold the strut and we want to spin the nuts. All right, so there we go. Let's get in a good position. Make sure you're going opposite. There we go. It is not that tight. And we'll have the torque spec for this. And again, just make sure you have some compression with the jack. And there you go. And this is a 12-point socket, so you do need to make sure your pass-through is 12-point. Now we're gonna do a controlled descent. Don't just drop your jack. You wanna come down slowly. While the jack is releasing, you wanna wiggle the spring a little bit back and forth. There are ball bearings in the top hat right here, and that spring usually is seated very tightly, and you wanna break that seal so the bottom part of the ball bearing sleeve doesn't come down. Now don't worry, if it does come down, you can normally just stick it right back up there, but it does get a little bit annoying. So if you can avoid that happening, it's better. So again, I'm just slowly releasing it, and Leo is going to shake the spring as we're coming out. Let me know if you want me to stop going down. Are you good? All right, so again, we're just slowly going down. And this is why it's very important that you have your wires disconnected at this point so that none of them get pulled out. Now, as you're pulling this out, you wanna be very careful of your fender. You will get close to it, so you want to make sure, it's a good idea to have two people doing this just to make sure one person is watching here, that nothing is going to hit that fender as you're coming out. Now, as Leo was pulling this out, it does get caught up on the wheel well liner, so you need to push down on the strut if you want to take that socket that you used up top to hold on there and then just compress it by hand. It does take a little bit of force, but it's definitely doable. That'll let you clear the fender liner, and you'll be able to pull it out with plenty of clearance, as you can see. And now we can just pull this spring out. Now, there is a new bump stop that H&R includes for the front, so make sure you swap that out so you aren't bottoming out on every little bump you hit. So here's that new bump stop. In comparison, you can see it's about 2/3 of the height of the old one. All right, now this isn't gonna clip onto it, so we're just gonna drop that down right there, like so, and let's grab our new spring. You wanna make sure the letters are readable, so they should be facing downward. So we're gonna pop that in and just align it with the rubber perch on the bottom right there. So it can only go in one way. And then we're gonna put our dust cover back on. And again, this can only go on one way as well. All right, now we're gonna recompress this. Let me get the socket again. Do you still have that? All right, recompress this shock. Okay, and quickly, I'm gonna get it up inside that cavity. And now we're gonna put the jack back in. Right up here is this bottom part of your top hat. As you can see, I can rotate it, and there's ball bearings in there allowing for that rotation. And this bottom part can separate if the spring is stuck to it really tight, so that's why you wanna wiggle this as you come down. We went ahead and put a little bit of PB Blaster on here so that as we're going up, it'll slide around without getting stuck and potentially messing up the top hat again. So again, just little tips and tricks to make sure that your install goes smoothly. And again, you wanna be jacking to the bottom of the control arm. Be especially careful if you do have the carbon ceramic brake package. You never wanna jack on the rotor. Those are very easy to crack. So Leo is guiding it up from the bottom while I line it up from the top. Can you come more towards the fender? Yep, straight right there, good. Now we can go ahead and tighten up the nut. We'll have torque spec in the middle or in the description. Make sure you're counter holding. Once that's done, you can reconnect your EDC right here. This will only go in one way. You're gonna wanna rotate it in there until it reaches its happy place and then click it down. All right, and now we can go ahead and put this on. We're gonna button up underneath here, just reconnect all those wires and reinstall the end-link nut. We'll have the torque spec for that down in the description. And that is the installation on your H&R lowering springs complete. It is important to get in alignment. Now we recommend driving for about 50 miles or so to make sure that the suspension fully settles. You don't want to get it aligned and then have the suspension settle a little bit more post-alignment. We need to get the car out, so we're going to quickly finish up. But you are going to reinstall this. We'll have the torque spec down in the description. Make sure you have a large torque wrench for this. It is pretty high, so be ready for that. And the way to torque this down is we put somebody in the car holding down the brake, torque it down, and you're good to go. Well, Brandon, we got everything done. We have all the carbon, and we just finished the H&R springs. Obviously, it's going to settle even a little bit more, and we have it sitting on some wood blocks right now, so it could come off the lift.
It looks absolutely spectacular.
Yep, it turned out really good.
So aggressive. The side skirts look amazing. Obviously, the ride height, I'm very excited to have proper ride height.
Yes, absolutely. With the spacer setup you have, I think it's perfect, especially when it does the full settle after that first drive.
Yeah, it just looks like a whole new car. It's absolutely crazy.
Yeah, it's and once we get these added into, like, that's going to be the finishing touch, and it's going to be perfect.
I'm very happy. This is amazing. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem. It was our pleasure. So guys, thanks so much for watching the videos. Again, if you want to see the full progression of this G80, make sure to check out the Valvetronic YouTube channel. We'll have that link down below. Be sure to give their Instagram handle a follow as well. And we look forward to seeing you guys back in the next video. As always, if you need any of these parts, tools, anything that you saw in the video, go down to our links. That really helps us out, helps us keep bringing videos like this to you guys. And if you enjoyed this video, let us know, and we'll see you back next time. Maybe we'll be doing more mods on this car. Take care, guys.